OtraXFavor. This is one more, please. Hola y bienvenidos a Otra, por favor. Y ustedes dicen...
Otra, por favor.
How are you guys today?
We're good. How are you?
I'm great. Well, first of all, welcome to Otra, por favor. Another episode where, we, as you guys know, we love to talk about storytelling that has to do with soccer, life, and culture. And for me today, it's one of those that I have on my bucket list. And every guest I tell them it's my bucket list because it literally is my bucket list. We met last year in September, I believe. You guys were doing a pretty cool event called Miles for Hope. And then also saw you guys had a platform where you guys sell merch, but selling merch is not just like selling shirts, but also like pretty cool shirts, but with a purpose. So in the studio today, I have Alondra and Cynthia Solís.
Yes, hi. Nice to meet you.
I met you guys, and for me, one thing that caught my attention was the purpose that you guys had in the Miles for Hope, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What like the purpose of it, because I know like at this moment right now we're going through a very interesting time for Latino community, and I think when we have stuff like what you guys are having, it helps heal a lot of the things that are going on, and it helps us also see that when we come together, we do something good. Good things can happen. So for me, I want to say thank you guys for creating that space where people can come run, get a good workout, get a good run, but also buy some pretty cool merch like what I have going on right here. So yeah. To the audience, thank you for listening to us. It's been a pretty cool experience doing this. I know we're starting to get in the busy part of the year with South by, Austin FC, and you know what? Today I want to focus more on the Latino community, talk more about you guys as well, your story. So, Alondra and Cinthia, can you guys first tell me where you're from and how did your childhood shape the person you are today?
Well, I'm Alondra. We are from Illinois, born and raised. We were born in the suburb of Chicago called Berwyn and raised just in Illinois in general. And it shaped me in a way. I feel like in the school we grew up in, we actually were the only few Latinos. So it wasn't diverse to many other cultures. And for me personally, I did have some experience where I would be targeted with negative comments because of where I come from, the language I speak, the food I eat, and everything. And at a young age, I kind of just learned that, well, I'm not going to change who I am and where I come from, because it's it also meant so much. My parents meant so much more to me than what other people's comments had to say. And I know, my parents' sacrifices definitely molded me into, my mindset and my work that I do now. So I would say it just taught me to always be proud of where you come from.
Cool. Cinthia?
Yes, my name is Cinthia. I'm her sister. But I was also born in Berwyn, and we were raised Central Illinois. Honestly, for me, growing up, I was a little bit more lucky to have a couple other Hispanic, friends in my grade. So I got pretty lucky with that. But still, it was still, 2 families, 3 families at most. So I actually thought, in a way that there was something, almost wrong with me, because it just didn't feel like I belonged. But I think it shaped me all for the better, though, because now I created, we created Cuídate to build a safe place for people, and also not just necessarily, if you feel left out, but just get involved with the community, too. So I think it really just empowered me and encouraged me to just, create more safe places for the community, too. So, yeah.
I would say cheers to that.
Yeah.
Cheers to
Salud.
creating
Salud.
safe spaces. Centenario, thank you for the tequila that we just bought today. And more so going into Illinois. I've been to Chicago a couple of times, and I know it's a pretty, Mexican, heavy population. But you guys were not in the spectrum of where there's a lot of Mexicans or Hispanics. It was menos raza, and
Yeah, like a lot. O sea, like
where we were born in, but we moved out of like the Chicago area, but primarily what we remember, right, from a childhood is the schools that we went to where we grew up in. But we were always back in Chicago, and I always say, like, I definitely relate to, like, the Chicago community a lot more than just the outside of Illinois. But we also have, like, family there to this day that we go visit, and we just spent a lot of time there. So it's a beautiful city. It's just, unfortunately, like, I couldn't aguantar the cold anymore.
I would say, would you guys prefer 100 degrees during the summer or 20 degrees in the winter over in Chicago?
100 degrees in the summer.
Yeah.
They're both really bad, but I think I like Texas a lot more than I would choose hot than cold. Which is crazy because like if you're cold, you could just get warmer.
Yeah.
Like most people would pick the cold, but I think just because we lived there literally our entire lives that we're like, no, we're like tired with this 6-inch, snow or anything like that. And
I've always said like mis huesos like ya no pueden. Like so like any like the low temperature drop or anything, like my huesitos start to hurt, my nerves, I don't know. And I was never one that really enjoyed the cold. Like I always have loved like the sun, pool days, so which is why I feel like weather-wise I love like Austin a lot more. But I was never the type to be like, it's a snow day, let's go play on the snow. I'm like, no. Like, why would I do that? Like, I'm going to stay inside.
Yeah, it was hard.
Yeah. I know in some places where there's snow, you guys have to plow it every day. Do your family have to do that?
Oh, yeah. We had to do that. I think we learned the hard way, like, once, like, we finally moved out to, like, college. And, like, she'd probably say the same when she was living on her own, too. Like, you realize that, like, you do have to get up early and get rid of the snow in your driveway, on your car, and then your car's, like, frozen shut. And then you have to, like, jam, like, your door to open. And then you get in your car and you realize your windshield is frozen, too. So you better turn on that car extra, like, for an extra defrost. And it's just so much, and all to just finally start driving, like, to your destination.
It's like a whole ritual before you go to work.
Yeah.
Now, you guys see Texas, we don't do well with cold weather. When there's a snow apocalypse or there's any icing, the whole state shuts down. Do you guys find that funny, or is it like, man, y'all don't know how to deal with this? We've had it worse. Or like, say, do you guys have whenever, like, say, a couple of weeks ago we had icy, right? It's like frozen everywhere. What was like going through y'all's mind? Like, no, but esto no es nada, or it was like,
I think personally for me, I was like, oye, en Chicago no nos tratan así, like we don't get any days off, but here we're like, the chance of it snowing, and they're like, everybody go to H-E-B, get everything, cancel everything. It was kind of crazy, but I also like was concerned because I know that Texas is not made for that. So I think I was worried on that aspect more so than like ice and snow. But I was like, these pipes, I know they break. And they, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. So
it is scarier. Like I think it's scarier here just because a lot of the construction is not made to uphold like ice and cold weather. So that's the scary part. At least like over there, we like, I think the construction just like is made to obviously like uphold with that type of weather. But I mean, ice is ice. Like even like everyone knows like no like 4-wheel drive, no big truck can go against like once you hit ice, like you're spinning out. So I mean, I think it is something that needs to be done though. Like just cancel everything and like make people stay inside if it's going to be like the safest option for sure.
I think like say for example, I used to and I'm thinking like say people that have to live paycheck to paycheck or have to do hourly, you know, like thinking, oh man, I'm gonna miss work and I'm not gonna get paid. So I always think of that, like, man, la raza, you know, like that have to, you know, or small businesses that they gotta have people to sell stuff. So I think that's the one thing that concerns me, because I mean the safety. But at the end of the day, you know what? Just stay safe, you know.
Yeah.
And if you have the vacation days, use them.
Yeah.
You know, stay home. But I wanted to also, before we go more into like the like your story, I wanted to ask you guys, what do y'all think about the Bad Bunny show? What was your favorite moment of the show, or just in the Super Bowl in general?
Well, we only watched because of Bad Bunny. We're not Super Bowl watchers, but I thought it was so like beautiful. I think he did a really good job at like touching different like historic moments like throughout like just being a Latino and like specifically like Puerto Rico. I think my favorite moment was whenever he pulled out like the old Puerto Rican flag. It's like the slightest change, but it's like before like the U.S. changed the Puerto Rico flag to like the navy blue one, it was like the light blue one. So I thought like him holding that was a very like historic like circle moment. Like, you know, you have the biggest audience on you and you're going to like raise the flag that like is yours, you know. So I was proud for him, like, you know. So cool.
I literally loved the part where he gave the little kid a Grammy. Too. That was like I had tears. Like I was like, cute. Somebody help. But it was just beautiful because like, and I also love too how he said like believe in yourself, because like most of people go through life like not believing in themselves, or like they don't do something because they fear failure or whatever it is, you know. But I really did like that, because, you know, for somebody like Bad Bunny, who just like a few years ago was like not even known, like, you know, it's crazy to see how far he's came. So it's just really inspiring. I like the whole thing. And then at the end, the message too, where it's like love will always prevail or something. I think love is stronger than hate. That message was like beautiful, because it is true. Like, you don't want to, like, why choose hate over love, you know? So
It's like whenever, because I was sort of skeptical, not about him performing, but about like, okay, what's gonna be the message about, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think whenever you do something different, it's like you gotta do it right. You gotta, because it's not just doing it right, but also doing it in a way where it aligns with what's going on.
Yeah.
There was messages, of course, and I think that's powerful, but it's also just the simple execution of like meaningful moments without having to have so many effects. That kid waking up, that kid, you know, from the chairs, the Grammy, giving it to the kid, and like that aspect right there. If you look at it, I always say, like us Hispanics, we, you know, like for me, when I grew up, I saw people doing something different, and they were getting somewhere, and I wanted to do that. So, do you guys feel like, man, like that was a powerful message for younger generations? Like, hey, you can do it. Like, you know, you got to do it, but you can't do it. Like, it's attainable. And do you guys like say? Do you guys feel like that type of message? How would it align to you? Like, say, if you know, if you were to receive something, what was something that spoke to you? Like, oh man, I can do this. That you probably had in your mind.
Yeah, I definitely think. Because I think his whole message with his performance was to remind everybody that, I mean, he's Puerto Rican, so that's like a part of the U.S., but I think to just remind people that, like, we are also American. Like, even if you're born here, but you're still from Mexico or Colombia or wherever, I think his whole message was, like, let's remind them, like, that we are also American, too. So I really did like that, because, like, especially, like, you know, he could have gone on there and, like, bashed XYZ and stuff, but I think he did a really good job at, like, showing us that he is, like, American, and that, like, even, like, for us, you know, we're from we were born in Chicago, but, like, somos también Mexicana. So, you know, sometimes, like, when you meet certain generations of people in your culture, they'll be like, oh, tú estás güerita, or no hablas bien el español, or XYZ. So I really love the message that he had, and then he shouted out every country to, like, the end. So that was, like, really cool, too, to watch.
He went from south to north.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. Yeah, I think he definitely used his platform correctly. And what I loved, like, getting out of it, just seeing his success is, like, as an artist who has always stood, like, on, like, business, you know? He's always been so outspoken on where he feels, like, politically and what he thinks is right and wrong, like, his morals. So I think he truly deserves it, and it's really beautiful to see him, like, get such a big platform that he deserves, because he uses it, like, not selfishly. He wants to use it to spread awareness, and, like, it's not common, you know? And I also feel it was very uniting to Latinos, and I would say, I think compared to, like, years ago or maybe just a few generations ago, like, as Latinos, like, haven't really been, like, as, like, culturally, like, united. You know, I feel like there's still discrimination that happens amongst, like, the Latino, you know, people, whether you're from this country. And, like, I think recently, like, especially, like, with music, just so many artists that are creating and trying out music from other, like, you know, cultures, or trying out traditions from other ones, is kind of just, like, opening our eyes. Like, that's the beautiful part of being Latino. Like, our culture, like, our cultures, like, it's such a vast variety, and we get to just enjoy all of them, you know? They're all so different, but, like, what a great time, and, like, what a great life to fall into, like, being a Latino, because it's, like, I'm not Puerto Rican, but, like, I love, like, the Puerto Rican culture, you know, their music, their dancing, their food, and all that. So I think it's just a part to be able to enjoy it, like, all of us together.
It's like I was, you know, I got my green card about a year ago, but I couldn't go to Mexico for 20 years, right? So the closest thing to Mexico was going to Puerto Rico, and we went 2016, and I was like, dude, I felt at home. And I think for a lot of people, it's I mean, we're fortunate to be able to travel, come in, come out, but there's other people that can't. But it just seeing a little bit of them in that screen, it's amazing. And I think for us, I think Latinos is because it's just like we're so many different point of views, ideas. Yeah, we speak the same language, but we also have, like, different approaches on how things happen in our, you know, in the back, especially, like, in our histories. But at the end of the day, sometimes it's very similar. I mean, most of or if not all of the Latino countries, they all came from, you know, they all had to be independent from Spain or even Brazil, from Portugal. So that's something that we have in common, that we've all been oppressed. So we had to get our independence. And then from that, we had to get our own identity. And I feel like that's the cool part, because, yes, we're all Latinos, but we're all different. And we just have to learn how to get along. But, like, say, going into your story, when did you guys first decide, okay, now it's time to move to Austin? And how has the city treated you guys so far?
Well, it actually started during COVID. So, like, I had just graduated. I didn't even get a graduation, but, like, I had just graduated, and she was up, like, next the following year. And so I just stayed. I was just like, let's just see what she wants to basically do, because I had a good job lined up anyways. And at the time, I actually had another business in Illinois, which was also, like, crafting, but I made more like the weekend apparel. So, like, I would design, like, cups or, like, hats or, like, you know, crew necks, whatever it was that the customers wanted. So I already had that established. I had a lot of knowledge with, like, the type of machines we were going to use. And then I was also working my other job, and then I was getting ready to take on, like a district manager job. But then COVID hit, and everything was, like, it turned, like, completely backwards. Like, my business was actually doing so great, but then now this job's like, hey, we actually are not going to need you anymore. And then around that time, I was like, I kind of need this, but also my business is doing good, so I'm like, I'm okay. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, it wasn't just like, okay, lo que diga Dios, like, yeah, I left it there. And then she graduated the next year, and, like, I was thinking, like, maybe I could get that job back, and it was just, like, not working out. And so I was just like, well, my business can really go anywhere. So I'm like, she was like, let's go to Austin, Texas, and we came here. And then, like, she had the idea to start a business. And at that time when we moved here, I didn't really feel like I was like aligned with making. It's because I love The Weeknd, but I just felt bad like honestly making money off another artist. I really felt bad because I'm like, I know it's selling because he has his own fan base, and even though I can create a lot of merch that he doesn't sell, I just felt bad. So I was like, but if I can do it with The Weeknd, like I can do it for myself. So I didn't have any ideas, and she's just like, hey Cinthia, let's start like Cuídate, and I was just like, bet. Like, what do you want me to do? Because I can't design stuff. Like, she's like the designer, so she creates like all her logos and stuff like that. I'm more like financials now, but like, yeah, she was really like the starter of it. And then of course we tied it back to our grandma, and we're like, I love this feeling, and I feel like a lot of people in Austin feel that as well. Like they've been really welcoming, like so nice, so sweet. We've met some of our best friends here, and like even meeting you, like just. It's just like such a great energy. Like it literally feels like home. Yeah. Like it really feels like home. And I was a little skeptical about moving to Texas to begin with, just because like I know it's also hot too. But like I was just ready for something new. But
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, ever since I was like young, I just wanted to move to like Texas, and I think it came from. My family, we would travel a lot from Illinois to Mexico, like road trip style. So our midpoint was always Austin. And my dad had like some family here. And so throughout like our little break for like to get to Mexico, he like would let me spend some time here. And then I was old enough to drive, and I was like about to enter my senior year in college. And I was like, I really do want to like move here. I've just always been drawn to like I guess like the Tejano like the scenery, you know, like dancing and all that, and the music, so and the warmth, like, you know, but it's, and I said like I just have to get up and like do it now, like because it's like my family was telling me like you can wait a year, you can get a job, you can save up. We literally moved here. I convinced her to move here, like. And we had no job lined up over here.
Nothing.
Like I just said, like we're done with our apartment in Illinois, and we signed a lease in Austin, and it is what it is. Take the dogs and let's go. And once we got here, I was trying really hard, like, you know, fresh graduate, trying really hard to like land a job in the interpreting field, and like a court interpreter, and I just, like, I wasn't getting anywhere. It's just, like, the job competition rate is harsh, you know, especially as a fresh graduate, and, like, I'm not even from here. So I was just struggling to, like, find, I guess, what my ideal job would be for me at that time. And then I got into teaching. I was a teacher for, like, the last 3 years until recently this year. That's, like, my first year not teaching. And I enjoyed it, and I think it taught me to, like, I'm here praising to kids, like, to follow their dreams and do what they want to do. And I had always wanted to go into graphic designing and, like, just draw and animation and all that in general, but I didn't pursue it because we're told, like, study something that's, like, a real career, even though, like, now I don't think like that at all. But I will say, like, my parents did influence me to choose something that I guess is more acceptable, but they support and love me like now, but and back then but they definitely did influence me to like not choose it right away. But once we were here, I still always loved drawing and just self-care, like, you know, going to the gym, taking self-care days, and all that was just always so important to me. And one day I just said, like, I can't find, like, a crew neck I love, so I just stamped something on it because she had all the stuff. She had everything from her previous business, and, like, we didn't know anyone when we first moved here. So, like, we would stay home. Like, it was work, gym, home. Like, we associated with no one because we knew no one here. And I would just be creating. And then one day I told her, like, I was between Cuídate and Sueña. And I just said, like, no, I think, like, Cuídate resonates so much more because our grandma would always end the phone call with it. And I do like to take care of myself. And, like, you know, it's just important for all of us, like, in the world to take care of ourselves and do, like, things that you love. That way, like, we can live like a happy, fulfilled life. So that's how it all ended up. Like, rejection was definitely redirection, like, once we got here.
Yeah.
So
I'm actually, sorry, I'm looking for my wallet, but I kept a fortune cookie because my wife and I went to go eat Chinese food this winter. And she's like, hey, what's your fortune cookie? And I was like, mine is when space is not like there, you create it. And I feel like you guys did that. Like talking about, like, say something simple, right? Crew necks. You couldn't find those that you wanted, and you did it. I mean, that's a very, I'm always intrigued by those type of stories because you did the right thing as getting a career, having something stable. But then after that, you know what? Okay, now I have time to do more and do what I want. And I think at the end of the day, I believe in education. I believe we should all get some kind of degree, some kind of certificate. But at the end of the day, do something that you like, something that is meaningful to you. And I think now I'm starting to understand more and more like why Cuídate is important for you guys. And it's like the crew neck, like it's a, like the last time I wore a crew neck was like, I don't know, a decade ago, but now I'm wearing it like, hey, and it's great because you're doing something that, sort of also builds a stable on your storytelling. So it's not just an item you're selling, but it's more than that.
Yeah. It's, I always said, like, we're trying to sell not just the design, but, like, the feeling too, right? Because, like, every brand is their own. And I think I really love meeting people, too. I want to know their stories. I want to know why you're doing this, like, and then once you sell me kind of, like, that story, then it has a whole other meaning with you when I'm wearing, a hat that's yours, or, like, even, like, your T-shirts, too, that you gave us, like, just so cool to know that, like, this person, like, was out with us on Miles of Hope, and, like, now we're on a podcast, with it.
Hey.
It's just so cool to see, like, how, like how the universe just works, like, in our favor is what I like to say. So it's just really nice, yeah.
It's like it aligns too on timings because we didn't just meet, we didn't just, like, say we met at Miles of Hope in your event, but you guys also like to have fun. We also saw each other again at the private Latin Mafia in Soho. Lodri, shout out.
That was such a great time too.
That was
what so a time. Fun. Like, it's like, really, like, I've always said, like, I've enjoyed my time in Austin so much. Yeah. Like, there's always something to be doing, and it just ranges so much. So I just love, like, all the stories I have, like, been able to, like, live, all the lives I've been able to live here. And it's just, like, it's such a great city, honestly. And like she said, even though, like, we're not from here, I've been told at the 5-year mark we can say we're Texans, so we're almost there. But I really do love it. It's definitely home. Like, I travel outside of Austin, and, like, I feel like I'm ready to, like, go back home. I'll travel back home to Illinois, and I'm like, I'm ready to be back home in Illinois, but then I'm in Illinois, and I'm like, I'm ready to be back home in Austin. So, but I've always said I think that's a beautiful part of that, like immigration, like, brings. Is, like, our parents are immigrants, and they were able to build a home and, like, live comfortably here, thankfully. So it just kind of, like, we could do the same too. Like, you can bring the feeling of home. Like, it lives in you, who you are, what you do. Like, you can take that, like, love anywhere you go and, like, build from it. So it's just, like, like, we can have multiple homes, like, and I think that's, like, the beautiful, like, lesson I've learned behind, like, immigrants,
No somos ni de aquí ni de allá.
Somos de los dos.
De los dos,
You're able to give back to, like, a lot, which is, like, what like, we want to do, too, because, like, when we think of, like, our grandma, we think of just, like, how much, like, she had 11 children. It was 11, right? Because technically
it was 12.
It was 12, but one of her children did pass away, like, young. But she had 11, like, children, and I just think about them, I was like, you have to give, like, so much, like, of yourself. You probably don't even, like, you probably didn't have time to yourself a lot. So, yeah, it just resonates, like, a lot to be in a place where not only we can receive, but we're giving too, or we're in a place to give. And, like, even though we know it's not, like, a lot, and, like, in the sense, right, like, a lot, but it's still, like, it's still so much because like it comes from us, and like we have just very clear like mission and goals to achieve. So it feels like just really cool to be able to give back. I never thought that I'd be able to do that so quick, and I was like, wow, like this is amazing. So
I always say like the hardest step, the hardest part of doing something is the first step. But once you do it, you know, there's so many open like doors. And I just tell that to people. Like I tell that to my nephews and nieces. Like whatever you guys want to do it. Like if you want to play guitar, you want to be a soccer player, football player, whatever you want to do, go for it. And a lot of it is just because, let's say when we grew up, our grandparents or parents, they had us and we were their priority. They had to survive. Now for us, it's like we don't have kids, right? We have dogs.
Yeah.
But taking that time to, you know, that extra time to do some things meaningful, because at the end of the day, it also gives purpose to your life. You're not just working. You're not just going to work 9 to 5 and go home. Right, that's it. I think you're also giving back to the community. And like going back to how you said, it was, you know, you feel like you're not, sometimes you don't give a lot, like 400 people in an event. In a run, that's a lot. That's
and energy too. I have to realize too that like when you give, it doesn't have to always be like financial or physical. Like you're giving a lot of your time and energy too, which is what I think that's what to me felt like a lot in a sense sometimes. But I also have found a way now, to take care of myself and not to like kind of go overboard with it either. But it's really nice. Like I said, I love meeting people. I love like hearing new stories and just like to know that we've helped Casa Marionela too, like with so many like displaced immigrants, like that I think is like I could just levitate. Like I just love that I'm able to say that. So yeah, it's just nice. I know like we actually were just talking about like if you search up like immigrants' first days in America, some of those stories are like really hard to read and like it'll have you crying. So it's just like to know that like maybe, you know, people who are coming in here and they find themselves in Casa Marianela, it's just a lot easier. They don't have to go through, hopefully, you know, sitting at a gas station for 2 full days, trying to figure out what's going on. So it's just like, it's so much that like, kind of like how you said, in alignment, like just has to align. Like we were meant to do this to help XYZ, you know, and then XYZ helps ABC and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really cool to watch.
Because like, say you have an event, right? It could be whether it's doing Pilates, doing, you know, the cacao ceremony, or doing the run. I mean, if you have kids that are going at 8 a.m. to go run, to go walk, you know how much impactful that's going to be when they get older? Because they're going to not just think of like, oh, I just have to go to work. Now they're like, okay, I want to do more for my community. And I think I'm happy that you guys are doing it, and I'm happy that you guys came to Austin, because I feel like Austin needs more people like you guys in the city. Not that, you know, there's not enough work, but I feel like there's just a lot of work, and sometimes, you know, extra hands always help. But I want to go more into like the fun part. What part of Austin, like what places of Austin do you guys like to go to when you guys relax and take a time off?
Relax. I love Butler Park. That's probably my favorite. I explored a lot of parks, like just outdoor living, which is like one of the reasons too. Like I fell in love with Austin. So I would love to like walk trails or do picnics and just spend time like under the sun, and the downtown setting is just like such a nice, like, you know, it's like just that Austin feeling, like, you know, you get to sit back and just like admire like the skyline and like the people like just going on about their daily lives, and it's just like nice and quiet like for a moment. So parks for sure, and coffee shops, so many.
Yeah, Mozart's.
So many.
Mozart's is like the perfect place to like seriously, it was made for me because I love water. And then like I love coffee. And then I also love the fact that they even like they built on the dock, like on the actual like on the water there. And so like you could sit on top of the water now too. And like they have the little boats too that you could rent and watch movies there too. So I was just like, oh yeah, this was meant for me, because I just love to write, and like the water just calms me a lot. So obviously don't have any oceans here, but I think that would make it like perfect if we did in Austin. But yeah, Mozart's, I love Mozart's, and then we do like Zilker too, like going, Butler, Zilker.
If you're in like a dog vibe.
Yeah. And Mañana downtown too, Mañana Dos. That place is so beautiful too. Like just, I don't know, like the wind, I feel like feels better.
Right off the trail
like,
too.
It starts the trail, it's right there. Yeah. And the staff there is great too. So it's just, it's just like a nice like ambiance to have. What about you? Where do you like to go?
Ooh, I would say it depends. Now, so usually I don't do a lot of afternoon, morning stuff because I either wake up late or I'm always at work.
Yeah.
But I like doing a lot of night stuff. I like going to happy hours. I like, say, for example, there's this small park where we play soccer on Thursday nights. Mm-hmm. It's called, I forget the name of it. But it's on 33rd and Lamar. We go there every weekend. We've gone there since 2016. So that's one of my favorite spots. It's in this little small park, or we have in the Bailey Park, where we have to call the city every year so they can turn on the light during the winter. And that's one of them. And then to go out and have fun, I would say I like Hotel Vegas, Coconut Club.
Oh yeah,
and
Hotel Vegas is fun.
Heck yeah, and more so because a lot of my friends DJ there, so.
Oh, yeah.
It's always great to see my friends, fill up the spaces and DJ and,
That's a whole other experience here, like meeting the DJs here. They're so like fun. Like Diego La Fuego too, like he's amazing. Nadera Tejana, I love her. Cumbiaca, I just met him and recently. He's super fun. All the DJs, like they're great. And like I think what's like even better is that like back in Illinois, I think since we didn't really have a lot of experience with like a lot of Mexican, culture, I think it's so cool to come down here and be like, oh my gosh, we could just go listen to reggaeton or we could go listen to cumbia or like we get our choice. And like that is something I never understood, like how like much of like a privilege, I guess, or like luxury it was for me. So yeah. And I love all the DJs. They're like also so great too.
That's que me caen.
Yeah.
No, I like them all.
Yeah.
Let's. I want to go more into Cuídate. Go into, how everything started. You mentioned that everything started because of your grandma. Would every time you talk to your grandma, she would say Cuídate. La mía me decía, ay, che cabrón. So that how was, first of all, like, your grandma was, you guys were pretty close to her was she here in Illinois or in Texas, or was she in Illinois?
So she did have I guess a time frame. I think it was like right before I was born that she did have like legal status to be like moving in and out. But then, unfortunately, like one of her kids ended up passing away, so she had to go back to Mexico for his funeral. And throughout that time, she just kind of forgot to check in, like with like her visa holder, so they thought she had overstayed. But it completely slipped her mind, like her kid just passed away. So due to that, unfortunately, like right before I was born, they never like gave her a chance to like make up for that, or never believed her, so she never gained like legal status again. So we would go see her throughout like the times that I said, like we would have like road trips, but like very limited because we're coming from Illinois all the way to Mexico. And
what part of Mexico?
Zacatecas.
Yeah. So we got like another.
It was like a 24-hour plus, like easily, right?
36
so that's why
hours,
we cut it in half, and that's why we stopped here in Austin. But yeah, she would always just care for us, like just want to like nurturing grandma vibes when we would be there with her. But we would also talk over the phone with her, and like many people, like that's just the last thing she would say to us. And it was just like, heartfelt because she had all of like most of her kids like immigrate to like the United States. And then you have like your nietos like being born over here and raised in like a whole new country. And like, she born and raised in Mexico. And just like, I really have an easy time putting myself in other people's shoes. So I feel like for her, like she just meant it like in exchange, like for not spending time, like not having time with you, at least like take care of yourself, you know?
Yeah. Like sending us blessings, like, and everything. Yeah, it was just super, like, she just, like, was like a beautiful soul. Like, she was, yeah.
¿Cómo se llamaba tu abuelita?
Nicolasa.
Nicolás. Oh, mi abuelito se llama Nicolás.
Yeah.
Now I have both from my four grandparents. Both of my grandmas have passed away, and my dad's grandpa passed away like in the 90s. So my grandpa's still alive. And I always have the joke that he's alive and has like 2 girlfriends. And my mom, she looks at me like, oh my God.
That's what's keeping him alive.
I know, right?
Is that like the fountain of like life or whatever? Like you're supposed to have 2 to keep you alive longer?
I have 1. Just 1, that's it. And I told my wife, like, I have one because I love you, and 2 because I can't afford a second one.
I just saw a post that said like, cheating's not for me for real, because how can I be feeding 2 girls? That's funny.
No, and it's like, but it's so we also come from a big family, and my dad's side of the family, they had 10 brothers and sisters, and my mom's 11 brothers and sisters. So for you guys, when you guys went to Mexico, you guys would go on, you guys get the whole Diciembre, Navidad experience with everybody?
It was more like summer.
Okay.
We would go in the summers just because, like, for my parents' work, it was just easier, like, around, like, not, like, big holidays. But we would get to experience the summer life. And we did go, like, I think, like, a few times in the winter. Pero se pone, like, bien frío.
Yeah,
like,
because my dad, this is another thing, by the way. My dad never wanted to fly. He had to drive. So, like, if we did winters, it was always such a question mark because we don't even know when it's going to hit. We don't know when it's going to start. No. And he already did have, like a little, like, wreck. Thankfully, we're all okay with ice, too, where he spun out. And, like, I was little. She was basically just born. And so, like, yeah, it was crazy. Like, it was just crazy. And so, I just can't believe he wants to drive all that. But that's why we never went, like, in, like, the winters because of the snow. So we just had to go in the summer when it was, like, hot. Yeah. All in a car.
But it's such, like, there would also be, like, celebrations throughout the summer, too, of, like, Santos and, like, bailes and all that for sure still. I had no problem with it because, like I said, I've always loved, like, the hot
and the
like,
fruits
heat.
too.
Las frutas, like, so, like, temporada de, like, tunas. I think, actually, now that we say it out loud, my dad loves tunas.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about
like,
this man, like, will find, like, the person selling tunas and will buy, like, all his crates and just put him in the trunk. Like, just like that. And, like, give him his money, and then he'll, like, for, like, the remaining of vacation, he's just like, now we have tunas to eat every day. Like, he could be...
That's probably why he wanted to go in the summer.
Yeah.
We're all now figuring it out right now.
Right now, it all makes sense just now.
Like, right when they're, like, perfect to just take off. And
Does he still do the drive every summer to Zacatecas?
Yeah, he drives here. And
now that we're here, yeah, he's between, like, Illinois, Texas, and Mexico.
I just think, you know what it is, too? Like, porque, like, sí habla inglés, but, like, it's, he's still, like, primarily Spanish. I think it stresses him out to think of airports, because even me reading and understanding, I'm super. I think we all are, right? Like, it's just too much going on. So I think he just gets, like, almost stressed from that. So I think he just would prefer to get in the car and drive.
And he likes to have his car with him.
Yeah,
kind of like, like, transportation, like, is not the best over there, like, public transportation. So he just always probably prefers to have his car on him, and I feel him. Like,
or I think in Austin too, the public transportation here's not the best either.
Yeah,
like, great buses, but, like, like, it's not like Chicago where they have, like, a train for everything.
That's the. I feel like that's one cool thing about Chicago is the metro. Chicago, New York, the metro system going up and down. Here we once a year during South by, this one right here ends at 2 a.m, but the whole year is just 6 o'clock every night, or. I think 12 is the latest, but it's on a Saturday. If I'm downtown, I'm not gonna be like, all right, guys, I gotta go.
Right.
So,
That's true.
So you guys, your dad liked going. Well, he still likes to go. You guys, when was the last time you went to Zacatecas and did the road trip?
Oh, wow. For me, it's been a while because, unfortunately, like when my grandma was when she was still alive, I was like 16, like 17, so I had a job already, which sucked because like most of the time I couldn't get off, and at the time I only worked at Pizza Hut, but like I also was just getting like that independence, like I was getting my money, and not like saying that was way more important than to go see her, but I also had college coming up, which my parents could not help me with. So I was like, I had to do grants, I had to do this, I had to make sure I had everything paid for. So I unfortunately didn't get to, I only saw her, like, the last time I saw her was, like, when I was, like, 16, 17, around there, or honestly, maybe even 15, the year before that, but before I started officially working. So, yeah, that's the last time. I haven't gone back since she passed, and I'm, like, trying to mentally prepare myself for that, but
Yeah.
she's gone recently, though.
Yeah. I think the last time I went, like, when she was still alive was in 2021, like New Year, 2020 into 2021. And then I just recently went this past summer with my dad, and I got to spend, like, a month. I've always had, like, doing nothing. Like, literally just, like, living the everyday, like, pueblo life, you know, wake up. It's, like, the same routine. But it was so peaceful at the same time, just full with, like, family, and I have, like, you know, no connection over there. So I was, like, I took a big break from, like, social media, too. Not, like, willingly, but, like, it felt nice, you know?
Like, literally had to.
I had to.
There was no connection.
But I remember I would try to call them at night because I had the best connection. And even then, like, I'm sitting by, like, the window, like, trying to yell at them and stuff, trying to keep them up to date. I'm like, what's going on over there? Like, I have no... And I had a chance to go to places that, like, had Wi-Fi, but then I'm like, that's going way out of my way to, like, seriously just spend some time on my phone. So I was just like, whatever. But it felt nice, yeah. Have you gone recently?
I went in December.
Oh, cool.
And it was pretty. So I've gone ever since, you know, I've gone ever since I started going back to Mexico again. I've gone 4 times. But the first one was like August of 2024. And that was like very short 3-day trip. But the one in December of last year, not 2025, but like the 2024 December, I stayed there for 2 weeks. And I was like, okay, much needed. But it's funny because in Mexico, like I say, Austin is my home, right? But when I'm there, I'm like, I'm cool being here. Like, I mean, I'm from here. And it is, I mean, it's a city, so you're busy. You're always up and down. But every time I go, it's like, me quedo con ganas de ir. Like, man, I want to go. So I'm going to go in June during the World Cup. So I'm still trying to work out the time and everything, you know, negotiation with my wife, how many weeks I can stay. But I love, you know, being in Mexico. I mean, because you're from there, so it's, you know, it's now, you know, like certain reasons why we're a certain way. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, for you guys, Chicago has, or Illinois has a way of lifestyle that you guys feel like, man, this is me, this is who I am. So I feel like that's why I like going back there, because, like, man, soy barrio.
Yeah, it's like a part of you that you miss and want to, like, continue obviously living in as much as possible. We wanted to go see him, or we wanted to go see The Weeknd in Mexico también, but it'd be like Mexico City. But I actually, my mom was telling me that we are going to be doing something, I think July, so I think that's going to be like the first time I'm going to get to go to like Zacatecas and where we're from. So I'm really excited too, because I haven't gone like literally in a decade. So I'm like, I need to go. I need to like go and visit my grandma and like my grandpa's too, like everything. So I'm just like, I need to go see like my family, like, and just like remind myself of like where my parents and like where I'm from. So, but that's so cool. I love that like you get to go and like, you know, that's awesome.
What part are you from?
Mexico City.
Oh, Mexico City. Okay, that's awesome.
It's great. It's like, it's pretty cool because, like, man, I can say I'm from Mexico City, and I was like, I'm from Austin. But like in Zacatecas, what is, you know, el platillo típico de allá? What are they known for food wise? Like, what is something you feel like, okay, this is a Zacatecas plate?
I would say like the like the gold mines in Zacatecas is known, like in the ciudad. Like you can go into like the caves and like visit like just all like the gold mines. And I would say we're known for probably Antonio Aguilar. We actually like our rancho is like 30 minutes from where like Antonio Aguilar's from. So he still like upholds like anywhere you go, they're still playing like his music. And yeah, I would say food. I've heard like tunas are like highly like ranked like in Zacatecas, which makes sense like why my dad loves to eat them so much. But I would say
tacos
yeah.
too. Like I mean, I know that's everywhere, but you know, tacos like also I just know downtown. Like
yeah, my dad loves like just meat in general. Yeah. So I'm just like I don't know if that's a Zacatecas thing or that's a him thing, but like tacos for sure like are like a daily thing over there.
And I'm not even sure if this is Zacatecas, maybe more my dad, but chicharrones, he loves, like, making them. And he makes, like, the best, too. I keep telling him, like, when he comes back here, like, he needs to make con un grande caso, and then, like, we need to invite absolutely everybody to come try. Even if you, like, are skeptical, just try it. And then give us feedback.
Imagínate unas tacos de chicharrón con queso fresco, jalapeños.
When I was in Mexico this summer, it was really funny because one of my tias, she just, like, likes to, like, that she's older, she likes to watch what she's eating, you know, and be healthier. But then here comes my dad, and he loves, like, chicharrones and everything, so he makes one. And we had that to eat for a few days. And by the end of the day, my tia was laughing so hard because she was starting to eat it with 2 tortillas. She's like, ya ni con una, con dos, like, you know. And I told her, I was like, yeah, like, that's just, like, the effect he has. Like,
yeah, his food is really good. And he wants to, like, open up a taqueria, too. But I don't know if he, like, I don't know what's going on with that. I'm trying to also figure it out, too, because I would want to do, like, all the legal work for him, and then he just cooks. Like, I'll take care of everything. But I'm also learning that, too, because it's, like, a whole other, like, whole other world trying to open up a little food truck. But it's hopefully one day we can get there.
Is it, will it be here in Austin, or in Illinois?
No, it would be here. Yeah,
here?
aquí.
Okay.
Porque allá, like, there's not really room for him to do that. I mean, there's always room anywhere, but there's already 2 other local Mexican restaurants that would be competition for him. And we're talking about, like, a really small town, like, maybe, 10,000 people max, maybe a little less, 7,000. Like, our graduating class was, like, only, like, 98, maybe, like, 90 to 98 people. So it was, like, tiny. It was, like, super tiny. So we're like, no, tienes que venirte para acá, because here, like, you'll have way more, like, hay más raza también too, like, so they understand, like, chicharrones. I don't have to explain what that is to people. Yeah.
Chicharrones.
Chicharrones.
Sorry, had to take a quick break. We had a situation. It's funny because I think it's the first time that ever happens where I can't talk because a seed or, something dry from the tajín se me queda atorado. But hey, it's all right. It's part of the game. All right. So going back to chicharrones, we don't have to explain it in Austin. What I would like to say I wanted to say is, it's so a lot of Hispanics, they're good cooks, right? We have very good cuisine. And sometimes we think of like opening a restaurant, but it's the administrative part that we don't know.
Yeah. It's hard because even just in general, like, I went to school for business management with, like, an HR concentration. So I know a lot. And I've actually had my license for food handling, too. But, like that was Illinois. Texas has, like, way different stuff. And then, like, I don't know. I just get overwhelmed by it. But, like, he hasn't seemed too sure about it. So I'm like, that makes me unsure. And then I don't want to go through all that and then, like, not use it. But then I also know myself, I probably would force myself to use it some way, whether it's him or not. And then it's just like, it's a lot. But I've always said that too. Like, I would love to, like, with Cuídate, I feel like Alondra is more like the face of Cuídate, and not necessarily that, like, I'm like over here in the shadow. But
sorry about
no, it's okay. And, like, I was just saying that. Did you want to take the call?
Nah.
Okay, yeah. No, but I was just saying, like, it's not necessarily that, like, I'm, like, shying away, but I think for me, I'm just so concentrated on, like, understanding, like balance sheets and, like, working with my bookkeeper and stuff like that, to even, like, to the point where I could do it myself, or also, like, just work with this like a CPA and not have that middle person there. But yeah, I would love to talk more about that, like, because like I know that's like a big part of why people don't even start, because it's like, how do I even legally start an LLC? How do I even like make sure that I'm doing everything right? Like, how do you even use Cuídate? You know, like, you know, stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, she's the reason why like we are even like still standing, like, for real. Because like I try to be like as useful and like I want to learn like that, but I didn't major in that, and it's just like I'm just more like how she's had like I come up with ideas and do it, and she's just like, okay, I'll pitch an idea to her, and she's like, okay, we need to do this so like we don't end up in jail. And I was like, okay.
You know,
Nice.
not even jail, but it's just like, because unintentionally we don't want to copyright somebody, or like not necessarily copyright, but like if somebody has a certain phrase trademarked, we got to understand that. And then that's like a whole other thing too. And then like if we want to trademark, like how to do that and how to even check to see if it's available, which is really easy now because I've done it.
Yeah.
But like even like a few years back, if you would have told me that, I'm like, can I even be selling the weekend stuff? That was like my first thing. I was like, and then at some point I had a Bad Bunny on there, and Bad Bunny did say like a statement, like he doesn't care if you use his face for money or something like that in an interview. But that still doesn't mean his team won't care, because it's not just Bad Bunny now for him. You know, he's got people that work for him that can sue me, his record label, stuff like that. So yeah, it was just like a lot of stuff that like I just wanted to learn and grow from, and just be independent, and then like build a successful brand, like both of them. So yeah, it's really like stressful, but I will say like I think I would like to talk maybe a little bit more about that, or at least like guide them to people that like did help me in that space. Yeah, it's just I had to learn everything myself. Even like I didn't even think FAFSA was real. I thought that was like all a scam. Yeah. Until like someone from school sat me down and they're like, no, we need to get you to do your FAFSA. And I'm like, free money from the government? That's not sound right. Like, for me, like, you know, I didn't know anything. And so I was like, yeah. It's crazy.
So, no, and like when we grew up, because we grew up not knowing that, right? Like, say, when I was in high school and ready to figure out college, several of my teammates will say, "Oh, my parents are doing all my applications to go to college," and I'm like, "Well, I mean, my parents, I can ask them for them to do it, but like, I don't want them to do it. Like, I want to do this for myself." Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it's a learning, you know, curve. You have to learn a lot of things for yourself. Even up to now, like a lot of things I have to learn that my parents don't know. But I always tell my parents, hey, whatever it is you want to do, learn it and do it yourself, so you don't ask me. Not because I don't want you to ask me, but you know how to be independent. Yes. Because if you ever want to open a business, you ever want to do something, you know how to react to things. You don't have to wait for us to do something for you. For the most part, that's been helpful. That's been helpful. I mean, it's rare when my mom calls me for like anything, you know. Yeah. So that's good, and I feel like it's sort of telling the younger version of yourself, hey, póngase las pilas y saque la chamba, because we can be so good at, like say a soccer player, right, or even a painter. You can be so good at painting, playing soccer, but it's just the bureaucracy of making sure the rights are yours in the painting. You know, you have all the documentation done, so no one can like steal it from you, or the design. Soccer players, for example, it's not just playing soccer, but like say, how long can you continue to be a good soccer player, and also what can you do after you're done? Are you gonna become an entrepreneur? Are you gonna open an academy? And I think for like what I like how you're saying is like, pues tuviste que aprender, you know. Yeah. And then you want to use Cuídate as a way to help people learn about opening businesses, because there's so much potential out there. There's so many people that want to do something. It doesn't have to be something like extravagant. It could be something like making cups, designing, you know.
Yeah, what machines to use? Hey, I've already trialed them. I might as well tell you, like, you know, it's just free knowledge. Like, you don't need to do courses or any stuff like that. Cuídate was meant, I always said anything that I learned from Cuídate, I am always so willing to give back to anybody. I never gatekeep, even like our vendors for our crew necks, because to me it's like, I don't care if you use the same vendor, because you don't have what we have and I don't have what you have, you know, with our designs and stuff. So it's like, or finding like, you know, just different things and hacks that like work for us to give to somebody else. I just never cared to do that, like never, because it's like you're not me and I'm not you, so we don't have to worry about competition.
You're not my level.
Yeah, nah.
It's more like companionship over competition.
Yeah.
And it's just like we need like all ideas out there. And I was just talking to one of like the first few people we met here that helped us was Bessie from Latinas Unidas here in Austin. And I remember I would meet with her before I even established like Cuídate with Cinthia. Mm-hmm. And she would always just be so helpful. And she still is. But I also know like she's way more like busier now, which is like, you know, we all ask for that, you know. But like back then she would just be like, I'm gonna be at this coffee shop at this time, like literally feel free to like approach me. She'll just publicly post it. And I would go meet her a couple times and just talk to her about my ideas. So then like I saw her recently at the cacao ceremony, and we got to catch up a little bit and just talk about like, you know, how we need like all these type of organizations, even though ultimately like we relate to one another, we may be similar, but like we all like take on ideas. And like how you said, we need like all hands on boards, like all ideas, because as much as like, you know, we also like want to help, like we also realistically just us too, like we can't do everything on our, like, you know, help in every little like crevice, like, you know, we can try to, but like it's like we need people like organizations like Casa Marianela, like doing like the hands-on work of like working with displaced immigrants and actually working through like that legal process and everything. And then we need people like selling tacos to keep our culture alive. We need people playing like cumbia. We need people like of all aspects to make it feel like truly like that makes it a community, you know. So we love to see it. And ever since like we moved here, I will say like I feel like I've seen so many like new like Latino-owned or latina-owned and stuff like that, and I'm just like I love it. I'm just like, where can I buy my ticket? You know, like everything.
Seriously, everything, and like the mixture of ideas like is like even watching Pilates, like what, like that's amazing. Like, you know, even like that like that idea in itself, and then like we saw how so many other people like did their own versions of it, and then like how other people were already doing their own versions and stuff like that too. So like it's like, oh, okay, well I like this and I like this, but let's add this, and then someone else will take that off and add another thing. So it's like really cool like to just watch like how creative like the world I feel like really is around us, because I didn't see any of that in Illinois. Like that's why I went into basically not even finance, but basically finance, because it's like that's if you go to Chicago, like no one really cares like that you're walking or doing stuff here in Austin. Like if you run into somebody, you may like meet a really long-term friend. So it's like really cool to just watch.
And
that.
I mean, it depends like too, like the areas like of Chicago. The suburbs like are very supportive and like united for sure, but it's just like it's such a big city, like when you're talking about just like the downtown like area, that it's just like the suburbs is gonna be like where you find like your community. But like Austin is like a small town within like a city, and it's like ultimately like you go to a place and like if you're involved in the community, like you're going to see like, you know, familiar faces that you've met before, just like being there, like supporting like other events, and like you support their events. And I think it's really nice to be able to do it like happening like in like downtown locations, you know, because it's very like it's accessible. Like it's not that far compared to like bigger cities. So I think I love that too about Austin. Like,
and there's so downtown, it's, for example, I live northeast, 15-minute drive. I mean, 30 minutes the most with traffic, but it's doable. And I think it's also like you said something like that, you know, it's collaborative, and then supporting each other when someone does something right. I think that's something that I've seen from Austin. I've seen from people that do stuff here. And I think this city is also, I mean, for the people that are doing something, it's open for it. Like there's, I mean, you have, you know, small scenarios here and there, but like say in soccer, it's very competitive. Everybody wants to have like the, you know, like the exclusive, you know, so which is the nature of it. But I mean, outside of that, I think I've also seen a very supportive group of people, right? I think that's why I like it, because you get to see the work and you get to see the response that people have, and also you get to see the need that people have, that, information, like what do they need, especially right now. There's times where you can support and have fun, but there's also at the end of the day, like, this is going on, so we're doing something to at least know that people can feel safe here, and I feel like that's a good thing. That's and when you guys are doing it with a good heart, and it's gonna go well. It's gonna continue to grow, and I hope it grows for you guys. I hope that like, say for example, the next stop for Cuídate is, besides Austin, it can be San Antonio, Houston, Dallas, because they also need something like Cuídate.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a really good. We actually said we wanted to go on a tour, with every city, right? In that sense, but yeah, we want to go everywhere, to just not even just spread the message, but hopefully inspire people to just not be afraid to speak out. And that's why going back to Bad Bunny's message, there's no really need to spread any more hate. Just get together and dance or walk or run or support other events. And I think that's what I really like about in that sense of resistance. You're not really spreading hate or being hateful or malicious, but you're just kind of rising up above that, and you're spreading love instead of hate in that sense. So I really do like that. Even at the last Miles of Hope, you saw people were dancing at the end of it, and we didn't expect cumbia. Who can resist that, right? But we were not expecting people to start dancing and doing all that. So that was really beautiful to just watch. It was just they lit up the whole room. It was amazing.
Es cumbia y Nadia.
Yeah, they definitely knew what they were doing. They did. I was so grateful for all events, and that day definitely we needed way more hands on deck to just make everything run smoothly. And thankfully everyone who did show up and spend their morning with us, it was so successful and very stress free, honestly, because when you put events on and you're the one in charge, sometimes it can feel overwhelming. People if they things are happening all at once and they need you here, but that morning I could tell everyone showing up just wanted to be how can I help? Yeah. And I was just that's just part of also being Latinos. It's we're always shown at such a young age to always ask, how can you help? Is there anything I can do? And I think it's just so natural to us, right?
Yeah.
Even in a situation like that, or anytime I meet new people and I'll ask them do you need help cleaning up? Do you need help taking this here? And it's just oh, you're so sweet. And it's no, it's just my parents just always made sure
that
they knew
that.
I have to help si no me regañan, so
but we love doing it though, because it really does, it teaches you it feels imagine someone just had a great event and now they need help cleaning, that relieves a lot of stress on them too. Plus you also I'm sure you've cleaned a big mess with multiple people. You're done in 20 minutes, max 20 seconds.
So quick.
So quick. So I'm yeah, why would I let you do all this in 30 minutes when I can help you in 10, Yeah. So yeah.
When was the first official Cuídate event that you guys hosted? And when was it, and what was it about?
The first Cuídate event, so the first event that we collaborated and co-hosted was the Matcha and Pilates, and that one was with Empoderada's gym and also Later Gator. And I pitched the idea to them to come together and create not just Matcha and Pilates, a nice fun experience, but mainly highlighting that we're all women owned. Later Gators women owned and women staffed, and same with Empoderada's gym. So I definitely was we should definitely collaborate, and it was open to anyone, but it's just ultimately this is going to show women empowerment, because aside from being Latinas, we're also just women, you know, like dealing with that itself. So I said, like, I love that we have like women-owned things, and like it could be like inspiring or just like a really safe place for other like people to come in and like show their support and spend their morning with us. So that was like the first co-host one. But honestly, they've all been like co-hosts. Like it's not one that like we just like put on. Like we've always definitely like needed the help, like, and have loved like collaborating with other people. Like the Miles of Hope, the first one was with the Body Art Run Club, and then the last two have been with Latinas Run ATX. And we also did a hustling hour, like networking event for women, and that was like in collaboration with our friend Analicia, that she does like a catering type style, like bar, like a catering bar and like foods and stuff like that.
Photo booths,
it's always been like, and like how could we collaborate to like also like kind of like help one another, like you know,
like expand it. And also like how, like if we have an idea and we can like make some money off of it, like what can we do either to give back, or like how can we like open that to somebody else. So we always like to think about other people when we're doing stuff. And also like I said, Cuídate to us has, like, we sell online, and like that's like amazing. We love doing that. That's kind of like where the profit comes from. But like when we have the chance to be in person, we're like, this is like where the change really matters. It's because we're here, you know, we're not online, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's different in person. And so I do think that I do love hosting stuff with other people. It's great, and we get to show them like what we know. They show us what they know. We learn from each other, and then like we meet amazing people and build great relationships. Like you said, now we know like a whole bunch of other people too. We can always like count on, or hire, or whatever it is that we need.
Yeah,
that's good.
I think that's a cool part about like Austin is like, it's like if you need like a photographer, like there's so many of them. And then it's like if you need like a baker, there's so many bakers. If like anything you possibly may need, like there's already someone doing it.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's why I really do love like that Austin's like a city like full of creatives. And like that's why there's always something going on, because someone's always out there creating something, every day. Like multiple creatives are like finalizing events or finalizing, any new projects. And it's just great. Like I scroll through my For You page, and like I get invited to like 10 events in one scroll. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, like
there's
on Valentine's,
so much going
like
on.
this Valentine's, like this Saturday, everyone's doing something, and we're like, how do we make it to everything?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you see your calendar? You're like, dang.
Yeah.
Sometimes
we have to be like, this event is like 5 hours long, but we're only going to be able to be there for 3, because then we have to go to another one. Sometimes we try to not do it like often, but like sometimes like cuando no se puede, like you're just like, lo que se pueda, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Or if we show up, but like we get invited to vend, but sometimes we're like, I don't think we're going to have time to bring all our or go home and get all our stuff and then come back. So it's like, we'll just go as like supporters or like, customers, and like buy something from like the vendors or something like that. So yeah, we always really try like our best to accommodate and like just adapt to the situation. But we really do love like collabing with like people and having people vend at our events and stuff. And like even Miles of Hope, like Dollface too, she was great. You were great too. Like people were saying like such good things about like both of you. So I was just like, yes,
it's palabras.
Yeah, and like this necklace she gave me too. So it's like beautiful. And then of course the shirt, look, Otra,
yes,
por favor. So yeah, it's just so cool. Like everything just has a meaning. And even like with speaking with Melinda too about Dollface, like just she has so many great goals too aligned, and she's just a beautiful soul as well.
So many like great people like that you meet, and I think that's what like makes the Austin community like so like unique and like beautiful, is that I feel like everyone's like a puzzle piece. Like, we need to really execute like an idea or a project. Like you're going to need like help from like many areas, but I feel like Austin's like very like offering too. Like, how can I help? Like I have this, or I know someone, or, and I think that's why like we've honestly just like fell in love with it. They were just like, we have family back home or friends back home, and like just crazy to think that like how different things like are, but it's like also beautiful to be like I've like the life you've like created to like in a whole new city from going like we came here like not knowing anyone, and then it's like now like to this current moment like I have like endless amount of like connections and friends that I've met here that like I would truly miss so much if I were to leave Austin, you know.
Imagínate, God, hopefully that if it happens like years from now, but to restart. And then, what if you go to a place where it's not like Austin, and then it can be like very cutthroat. It's not gonna say como acá. That's like
I think like that southern hospitality.
Yeah. That's like I think that's sort of a fear I have is like if I go move somewhere else, right? Because there's so much that is gotten done here that I'm pretty sure you can make it, but it won't be the same. Like unless it's Mexico City, ahí le caigo.
Yeah.
But or I think like backup plans would be like I don't know, LA, Houston. I've been there. It's a hit or miss. Dallas, heck no. But Austin is just an oasis, like in the desert.
Yeah,
No.
I enjoy it too for sure. We said like if we only see ourselves like Texas wise, like living in Austin, and like we enjoy though. It's like a nice midpoint to go to like the surrounding cities, like a random day or a weekend like to go visit, or like if there's concerts going on and all that for sure. But I love that Austin's like a midpoint too, like right in the middle of like all of them. So.
Yeah.
And it's I think that's another cool thing about it. It's you can be more yourself. You can be whoever you want to be, and it still has that. Of course, time changes. I went from like I was around when there was very weirdy vibe. Now it's more tech, but it's still there. Like you can basically be whoever you want to be here.
Yeah.
And especially the events like throughout the year, like the city has. We started with Free Week, and then right now South by is gonna happen, Sips and Sounds, and then after that it's gonna be Austin FC season. So much going on, which is great, and I love it. I think it's for the small town that it is. It's done quite a bit, and I hope that continues to do more and more. Yeah. And I hope we can also attract people that want to create stuff, because like there's room for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is. Yes, I definitely agree. It's nice, and like there's just so many like clubs to join, or like the run clubs, Pilates, and or like if you don't want, like I've always said, it's like a balance, right? Like it's like you can have like there's so many things to do sober too, or there's like so much nightlife too. And it's like you can choose like which one. If you want to like have a nightlife and then reconnect with nature the next day, like you can easily, So yeah, I love that.
I like how you said have a nightlife and reconnect it with nature the next day. That's what a lot of people actually do. Before I go into like the event that you guys have, this is, I think you guys already sort of answered this, during the conversation, but you guys do quite a bit. You guys are doing a lot to help people out. But here in Otra, we always talk about mental health, more so just closing, because we're always busy. We're pouring on people, but for you guys to pour on yourself, what do y'all do to take care of your mental health and to remain sane? It could be something, very eloquent, as like doing yoga for 10 hours a day, or you can just be doing something simple as walking your dog in the park. What do you guys like to do to remain sane?
I love to like work out for sure. I think working out for me is like kind of like that one-on-one time with myself, and I think it just releases like a lot of tension, like just like in my body in general. And then if like my body feels like better and like I got my heart rate up for the day, then I just feel like, I don't know, like better. And then I can also like be able to deal with whether it's like unfortunate like news that you're reading or like current events going on. I try to like also be mindful of like how much I could actually intake, or how much like I can actually read into, which I know like sounds like very like privileged to say, and I want to like read everything going on, but at some points too, like if it's like worsening like yourself, I like to like take a break from it and like either journal or just think of ways that like I can help. Like it's like maybe I can't hands-on like help how I want to, but like there's also tiers to what you can do, right? Like there's like protests like where you can go like walk on the streets, and like that also like has an impact. Or like you can like put like reach out to organizations if they need like volunteer help, or how can you help. Another one too, like this past year was we realized that like all the deportations too is leading to a lot of animals like in shelters. So then like we didn't know that until we went to an adoption center and adopted a dog who like actually was surrendered due to her family being deported. Yeah. And then like that like instantly like opened up my mind to like, I know it was affecting it, but it's like now to this like level, right? And it's like, well, I can help by adopting her, like, you know. And it's and then like I see her and I'm just like every day, and I'm just like, it makes me feel better like about like just the situation itself. Of course, like I still like keep like her family in mind and hope like they're safe and sound and everything, but it's like at least like out of this situation, what I really could do was like give the dog at least a new home, like that she won't have to be in the shelter, you know, and or spread awareness to other people like on how you can help, which is like why we did like Miles of Hope, because it's like I feel like there's a lot of people out there that probably feel like the same way I do. It's just like I want to help, but how can I help? And then you think about too much, like there's a lot more like thinking of like there's not much I can do hands-on. So we wanted to create an event where it's like we know this isn't going to fix everything, but it's like a step towards like the right direction at least, right? Or giving the extra support that an organization needs because they already have like so much on their hands, that we can help at least in this way. Or spreading resources too. Not many people know of where like if they're in need of something, where they can go find it, or what resources are even like provided, you know? So
yeah. I think for me, definitely, like, writing would be my number one, like, to either journal every feeling that I have. And sometimes if it's really intense, I'll write down exactly what I feel, like, throw it away or burn it or something. And it's just like, okay, I got it out of the way. Like, it's good to go. Because even though, like I said, like, spreading love is very easy. But, like, when you are the firstborn Latina woman in your family, sometimes, like, not even just family in general, but everything going on in the world, it's not the easiest to stay positive. So I'm just like, I have a lot of stuff I want to say and I can't go online and say it. So I'm like, I'm just going to type it or like, you know, call my best friends up and be like, I feel like this about this, and just rant to them. And then I actually just recently got into writing music too. So I've been like learning how to execute more like anger into like music, if that makes sense. Not really like talking crazy, but like just just writing como así música. And so that's been a really interesting, like really, really beautiful part of my life, because I'm like, oh, like I really like how this sounds. It's like, you know, kind of like a little Jenny Rivera in there, like, you know, how she is like talking about life. But yeah, it's just or like even just for me, like I love makeup too, so I love doing makeup looks like that. Just takes my mind off everything too. If I'm just editing, dyeing my hair too. I mean, it's red now. It's going back to brown soon, but like just self-expression. But I would say what mainly helps me with my mental health is definitely writing, like writing or talking to my friends. What about you?
So actually going into that part of writing music, right? I feel like times like what's going on right now, that's when a lot more art comes out of mine, because you're experiencing so much pain, so much anger that you have to let it out some way. You can let it out by fighting everyone on social media. Look what you're doing. I mean, painters have gotten, you know, how many eras have changed because of, you know, in paintings, you know, that represents so many of stuff that's going on in those eras. So yeah, like say right now, I think what is going on is it's yes, we're not experiencing the harm that people are experiencing firsthand, but we're seeing it. I mean, we probably know someone that has going through it or about to go through it. But doing something creative about it, it's gonna help hold us together. Events, because like for me, when I went to y'all's, and I mentioned earlier, I think it's a healing thing. Like even in the post that I did when I released it, because I was like, I wanted to not just here's some pictures about Miles of Hope, and it was like great. It was like no, I want something more meaningful because I think it deserves everybody was there for a purpose, and I think it was just to come together, have a good time, run, but also at the end of the day, it's like we're all here, we're okay.
We're here for people like that can't speak. We're here for people that can't walk. Like just in all different areas, not just because you're an immigrant that's detained or an immigrant that's in Mexico or somewhere else. Like just in general for people that can't, like que no puede. So I love that too. That day of Miles of Hope, we just kept seeing the reservation thing go up, and we're like getting a little stressed, but like also like in a good way, because I'm like, look at all these wonderful people that want to come and like and walk and like run for like their people, and even if it's not your culture, you're still showing up and like still supporting, and like I would do the same too. So it's just like it's really like how you said, it just gives you chills, like because it's like, oh wow, like you really can see it and you really feel it. I think that's like what gives me the chills. It's not that you just see it, but you feel it. Like in the energy.
Or it just shows like that we're here, like period. Like how Bad Bunny said it, like he's like aquí estamos, like or talking back about like favorite places to explore in Austin too is Paprika, the taco place, if you've had it. So delicious. And then I also love like all the frames they have up like in their taco place, and like their calendar recently that they released this year was like aquí estamos y no nos vamos, and I was just like, I love it. Like
That's
it's
good.
just like it's so empowering, because it's so true. Like as much as like they want to like flip like the narrative or stories or like post some stuff and not like all like the true stories, like it's like ultimately like we're here, and it shows like whenever we have like gatherings like that, like it's like wow, like maybe you felt like not many people care, but it's like this is like to show you that like what you're feeling, everyone in this room is feeling, like to relate to you, to understand you, and like just have like a place and like a moment to just like live life and like seriously not think too much, like, which I know like it sounds like really like once again privileged to say like we can like take a moment and enjoy it, but it's like if we have it, like that's why we should do it, because not many people like do have that, and it's like we're doing it because fear can't let us like not live either, so yeah,
and just like just living too, like is what you're supposed to be doing. Like if God forbid you're in that situation, I still would want people to do what they need to be doing every day. I wouldn't want them to stop, doing what they're doing just because, I'm over here struggling or doing something too. So I just think it's like, just like stand for your people and stand for like for everything that's going on, and like don't be quiet about it, or like don't be embarrassed to talk about or lose friends over it. Like that's something we always have to tell sometimes some of the new people we meet. It's like we don't care, like we will be very upfront with you what we do expect like when we're working with somebody, so every person we've worked with knows like we don't want to be tied to anything that doesn't resonate or align with us. So and like that's just being upfront. You don't want to, I mean clearly you don't want to work with somebody that's like that either, so why would I put us both through that?
There's
you
people that reached out and like nope. Nope, because then you're not gonna have a good time. I mean, the first one, man, that you collaborate is gonna be good, but the second, third is gonna be like, nah. So I'd rather just, it's okay to say no. Well, now going to that question to me, man, to relax, I would say, I like having fun. I like comedy shows, so I like going to a couple of my friends that do comedy every week, every other Tuesday. Stand-up para todos. You know, I don't know if you guys know them.
You should tell us.
I think
We'd
so.
love to go see
Yeah.
them.
What are their names? Some of the comedians.
Angélica Laguna, Luis Campos, y Héctor Cifuentes.
Oh, okay. I know Hector. Yeah, I met we met him at one of the salsa bachata classes.
Okay.
And it was like, I remember it was like so random. Like, because he said he was a comedian. And I was like, well, whenever you get booked, like here, like, let me know. And then he did. And I actually went to the one in, what was it called? Annie's Day and Night.
Okay.
That one. I went to that one. Yeah, with them. If it's like the same group of like, right? Like the same group of comedians. Yeah.
I remember
funny.
Angelica too. I remember her, like the name at least. But yeah, that was a really fun night. Like I was laughing a lot. So that's cool. They do it every Tuesdays where?
So every first and third Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
It's at Creek and Cave, but it starts at 10.
Oh, okay.
From 10 to 11 or midnight. But it's pretty cool. I like going because I like the nightlife more than the morning stuff. So I mean, especially when it's having fun and laughing. I like laughing about them shit too. So
Yeah. Honestly too. Like, I mean, it's just a way to like go about it, like your daily routine too. Like just like we like to joke a lot too.
Yeah.
Like we take things seriously, but even if it's a serious thing, like we'll still find a way to like slip a joke about it, and just at least laugh about if it's something that like didn't go our way. We're just like, well,
That's just how you have to look at your personal problems for real. Like, it's like, do I cry or do I, like, laugh? Because...
or both.
Or both, Yeah. Yeah, I always say this, like, with... just when we always get overwhelmed with, like, stuff going on, we're here to help, not here to fix. Like, obviously, if we could fix it, it'd be fixed already. It'd be done. We wouldn't even be here. It would be completed. So I always try to, like, always reassure myself, like, we're here to help and not fix, because if I could fix it, it would already be done. So I'm like, and eventually that is gonna be like the move. We're gonna fix like everything like as much as we can. But yeah, I always like to tell myself that. So.
One day we'll fix things.
Yeah.
I know you guys have Matcha and Pilates, Miles of Hope, but the most recent event you guys had was a cacao ceremony. Can you guys share a little bit more about that? And what is it about? And because it's not just cacao, but it's it's an actual ceremony. And what does it entail? Just a quick summary of it, because that way, in case somebody wants to join next time, it will be pretty cool experience to join.
Yeah. So that the cacao ceremony, our friend Sara and Manuel actually like asked us to like collaborate. It's an event that they already had been going on for a while, and then Manny actually came to like the recent Miles of Hope, and like I met him there, and he like kind of opened the space for us and said like we would love to like collaborate with you guys to like, since you already offer like a safe place for like the Austin community, like we would love to open our doors and like offer our space too. So like that was like really like sweet of them, because I actually did my first cacao ceremony in December, and I will say, like, I feel like such a difference. It's supposed to, like, help, like, calm your nervous system. It's just a tradition, and Sara uses, like, Mayan cacao, too. So it's, like, her ceremony is, like, very, like, traditional, and I guess the feedback that we got that day was that, like, they felt like they definitely, like, released some like emotions like that were stored up or feelings, and honestly just like resetting themselves and or like reevaluating like intentions or like what they want to do different or what's something they want to work on. And it was like very, very peaceful, like, and also a time to like connect and like make new friends, or just get out of the house and be in community like for a few hours. It's definitely been targeted like towards that.
Yeah, just like to release like anything that you wanted to, like, with everything going on too, like if you needed to release like maybe a situation you're personally going through, or if somebody, like just kind of, because like obviously a lot of stuff in life is out of our control. but like what is in our control is like how we deal with it and how we let it impact us every day. So she provided that space to really just release anything. Yeah. And like that could mean literally anything. Like if you just need to release like, college stress, that's all you need to do. Like if you need to release any type, like just anything. So she was such an awesome teacher too. And she was really lovely too. So we were just super happy to like work with her and like have her have us there, like just include us. Yeah.
And we also had we had like one little kid show up with her mom, and I remember talking to the mom, and she just shared with me saying that like, yeah, she came home talking about like everything going on like in the news, and just basically like bringing like awareness to it. And then the mom had said like, well, I know there's we can do this, like, because it was like dedicated to anything you need to release, but like our main focus of like the people like that we were like us hosting it, our intention was like for like the immigrant community or like the Latino community just to come and like release any tensions that may stem around that. But of course, like anything else like is welcome. Like everyone's like going through something differently. But I thought that was really cute because I was just like, my heart, like, I have such a big thing for kids because like I was a teacher for 3 years. So when I see kids like show up to our events, I'm just like, it's like the ultimate, like, I feel like safe place, like check mark for me. Like if there's a kid there, like I'm just like the parents really like bring them here, and like that's your kid. So I'm just like, it means so much, all support, but like just, it's always nice to be aware that like there's kids sitting in classrooms right now and like dealing with this like on a level that like most of us most likely didn't at their age. So it's just to be aware of them too. Like they're looking up for us for guidance. So it's like if we tell them to do one thing, they're gonna follow us, and if we tell them to do the other thing, they're gonna follow us. So it's like, what are you gonna like tell the next generation that's like looking up to us?
And that's who we're doing it for, too. It's like, I mean, obviously, like, eventually we're going to have to, like, pass that baton on to somebody else. And, like, they have to see that. They, like, we don't, we can talk, but, like, it's better to show. Like, I've always said that, like, action is way louder than words. I mean, everyone.
Yeah.
That, right? But I always resonate a lot with, like, more actions versus words. So, yeah. But we want them to see that, and we want them to be inspired and encouraged, and then, like, even take it, 10x our ideas. Like, I want that to just be surface level for them. I'm like, oh my God, I love what they're doing, but let's do this, just inspire and everyone. So
it's like with the kids, like you said, it's when a kid shows up to an event like this, one is they feel safe. And two, they're gonna see something that it's meaningful for the community. They're going to have a sense of awareness for the, the person next to them, and they're not going to be prone to selfishness because they're going to see people coming together and working together. You can say like, oh, we're all working together. We are working together. We are trying to do something together. Of course, you have your personal projects. At the end of the day, you still have to be responsible for what you like to do and what you want to do and how you want to approach things. But I think this type of scenarios here help kids also understand, like, hey, yes, you look at, for example, there could be two kids that show up, right? One of them that has made his parents work and, they're doing good. Mm-hmm. But the other one were like, his dad, got deported, or his mom is, they don't have papers. So it's like, both of them get to see the spectrum, and both of them can see like, okay, there's hope in one, and there's also time to work in the other one, or time to pour and help the community with his privilege. So I'm glad that you guys are doing that. And also, for me, it's funny when I have kids walking in front of the camera because they look at me like.
Well, even at the second Miles of Hope too, you saw the little two boys. And they were so happy, like, to be
wide awake at 8 a.m.
One of the little babies, went up to was Choto and was like, "Hey, can you take a picture of me in my shirt?" I'm like, "Oh my God, stop! That's so beautiful." But it's just like it is like so, like I didn't even think about like children on that aspect because I was already just like thinking about everything else. But like when I did see the little babies come through, I was just like, oh, stop. Like that's different. Like, so
it's a fact. Like it just opens your eyes. Like once again, like on all levels. Like this is affecting people like on all levels. Like not just like even like kids like in their like daily like school routines, but it's like adults like in their work environment, dogs too, like with them like in adoption centers, and it's just like it really takes like all of our work like together to like at least like try to fill in like the voids that we can so it can feel like a little bit better at least.
That's good. When is the next event you guys have that's upcoming, and how can people reach out to you guys, and also where can they find your merch?
So the next event, I'm not too sure. We've been wanting, we do want to continue to do like Miles of Hope as long as we feel like it's like still like a safe place that we can provide for sure. And we want to try to do like every 2 months or every 3 months. So we're going to be working with like Latinas Run ATX to like come up with like a next date for that. We've been talking about like we want to start like a book club to just highlight like Latino authors. I've been trying to do the work of like trying to like read so many books at once, and I have, and like now I'm just like, okay, now I just like need to decide which one to like start off with, or like why I'm choosing like the specific book or not. But also like once again, just like the meaning behind that would be like to just highlight like Latino stories, but also like provide like a community where like you could come and like read like these touching stories and like maybe just like make like a friendship that, you know, you could keep up with just by like one thing you have in common, you're reading the same book, at least to start, right? So that would be like probably our first like next few events, but to find us, like you can find us at Cuídate .atx on Instagram and TikTok, and then the link in our bio for Cuídate atx.com to shop our merch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Cinthia, Alondra, thank you guys for being here and doing this collaboration. This is one of the stuff I've been looking forward to doing for a while. And I hope my platform can help. Well, we can help you guys do more, whatever you guys need. And one thing I say, like, safer as a man, it's good to see women that are doing something that's inclusive for men as well, so they don't feel like, oh man, there's gonna be girls in there. There's no guys. So thank you, appreciate it.
Of course, and thank you for like helping us out, like. Just like for the Miles of Hope, and like also offering like the space for us. We've always said like we're yappers, like we can talk all day.
That's how like, you gotta tell us when we gotta stop talking. Yeah, I know. It's just really cool, like to have like to meet like just, you know, men and women like in different fields and that are also like Hispanic too, and even if they're not, it's still just great to be open to like other cultures and everything. So yeah, thank you so much though for having us.
Appreciate it. And next time we'll collaborate. Va a ser puro chismecito. Bueno, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to another episode of Otra, por favor. Se cuidan, se portan bien. Siempre digo, arriba la América.